I remember when I got too intoxicated and was stuck on the train tracks at midnight. Hi, my name is Dr. Jamila Banks, and I'm your holistic, licensed marriage and family therapist who specializes in trauma informed care, anxiety, depression, and suicide management and reduction. And I remember when I got a little too intoxicated and got stuck on the train tracks at midnight. So, in my previous session, I talked about when my ex husband went to work one day and never came back. And although we had talked about separating and we talked about co parenting, so I was already prepped to be a single parent, that shocked me. And I went into some depression and some anxiety, and I didn't really cope as well as I could have. I actually had a divorce party and celebrated when he left. And instead of initially taking the time to process my thoughts and feelings, I started drinking a little bit too much and partying a little bit too much. And I remember one particular time, it was right before one of my birthdays because it was around Christmas time, and I went out with my friends to celebrate at a restaurant, and we were doing karaoke and we were having drinks, and when we're leaving, and one of my friends was like, you look a little bit too intoxicated, I want you to come with me, or can I drive your car? And I was adamant that I was grown and I knew how to get home, and they stood with me. About two of them were arguing back and forth about driving me or having me ride with them. But I just stuck to my guns that I was fine. And so my friends attempted to follow me for a few minutes, and then they lost me because, yeah, if you know how I drive, I drive. And they couldn't find me. And I got lost in some back streets in Compton and made a right turn when I should have made a left turn, and ended up on some train tracks. And my car was disabled and I could not even move forward or backwards. And I had to call for help, and the police came. Thankfully, I was very pretty and very smart. And although, I was a little intoxicated, I managed to tell them what was going on with me, and they took pity on me, and they actually had my car towed, and they drove me to my home. They called my mom and told them what was going on, and my mom met me at my house, and the two nice officers dropped me off at my doorstep in the care of my mom. And I learned that night that drowning your pain and your sorrows or your hurt in alcohol is not the way to go, and especially getting behind the wheel. I'm thankful, I'm grateful that nothing happened to me other than the police taking me home. I could have gotten a DUI. They could have not been very good police, and they could have tried to do something to me. It could have been other people in the area when I was stuck on the tracks that could have done something. So I'm thankful and I'm grateful and I'm appreciative to those officers that came out and dropped me off at my doorstep. And I do not drink and drive.